What's up, Nail Geeks? I am back with Night Owl Lacquer's Potion Ingredients Volume 3 collection. If you're curious, the first 2 volumes are on this channel, so definitely been working with Night Owl for some time and glad to have her back. I want to note that my new tripod is in and it's actually 3 inches too big for my normal setup, so this video is a bit of trial and error with my lights, so bear with me on that regard. Overall, let's just take a peek at the formulas, and my actual swatch images will be more for color. The lighting's gonna get a little wonky, but I gotta figure out growing pains with how I have to do my new setup. So I digress, let's dive right into the swatches. First up is Fang of a Gargoyle. This is described as a pale gray crelly filled with black, red, copper, multichrome micro flakes. This has a true smooth crelly formula to it, very easy and just slides very well across your nail. I think 2 to 3 coats is going to be perfect for opacity on this one. This is actually the first polish I worked on once I got the new tripod set up, and I was just pulling my hair out trying to figure out how I was going to hold my hand down, the logistics of it. It was a nightmare, but as you can see throughout the video and here in a moment, I got a little more used to it. But I do think that the angle on the full hand shot here, though a touch out of focus, you can definitely see that there's an easy shift of red to black on those flakes. And next is Slime of the Swamp. This is a swampy green crelly with green, red to gold shifting shimmer and glows yellow, somewhat green in the dark. Now, it does state in our PR information that the glow-in-the-dark pigment may settle. I personally did have quite a bit of settling with that pigment, but it was nothing that a really good shake couldn't reconstitute it back. So just wanted to throw that out there in case yours does that too. I'm in Texas once again, so lots of heat here, and I think that also helped with this settling once I opened up my package. So for opacity, I think 3 coats is going to be perfect for this one. This does have a lighter formula because, once again, the pigments are quite heavy in it. So give it a good shake and go in normal, and I think you're going to be good to go. It does dry down quite thirsty because glow-in-the-dark pigment is somewhat gritty thirsty. So I'm going to suggest a really good, thicker, glossy top coat to finish this one off. And next is Feather of a Crow. This is a clear base loaded with blue, purple, burgundy, red multichrome flakes, black flakes, and charcoal metallic micro flakes. Now, I do think this one, as you can see on the first coat here, will work wonderfully as a topper. I think it's very dense, and I went in quite a bit heavy on my coats. And in retrospect, looking back, I should have gone in lighter and did 3 coats to bring it up to full coverage. This is very thirsty because it is packed full of the flakes. So again, looking back, I did not use a glitter smoother with this one on my full hand shot there, and you can see that it's already getting a little thirsty. So I'm strongly going to suggest a glitter smoother with a glossy top coat on this one. But overall, I think my swatches in the video didn't really do the general sparkliness of making up words here that I saw in person with it. And next is Skin of a Gourd. This is an orange filled with vibrant orange to gold to green large particles shimmer. This one's probably my top pick of the set. It's really interesting, very pretty. What I would consider a mustardy, somewhat pumpkin-y sort of fall type of orange. It's lovely. The shimmer, large particle, I do agree with that official description, and you can see it right there, is stunning. This has an easy shift over to a lime green. I did some nail art with it, which you'll see here at the end of the video, but it's very, very pretty, very shifty, and easy buildup. I'm going to suggest 2 to 3 coats depending on the length of your free edge. And next we've got Mist of the Morse. This is a deep indigo filled with vibrant aqua to blue to violet, large particle shimmer, and hollow flecks. This one's very lovely, really intense, very similar in terms of application to Skin of a Gourd, the previous one. So it's got a little bit of a thinner formula to it, but very easy to build up. So very smooth despite having quite a bit of shimmer loaded up into it. So I'm going to suggest 2 to 3 coats here once again for full coverage depending on the length of your nails. I thought 2 was just fine, and I went in just a touch normal, not so thin. So dry time was excellent. And no issues in terms of thirstiness or texture. Just a standard glossy top coat will be perfect for this one too. And next is Cap of a Toadstool. This is a clear base loaded with red metallic flakes and white matte glitters. So this one has a very heavy formula, very similar to Feather of a Crow. I can see this one also working as a topper, and I think it's really interesting that red and white can translate very well to Halloween manis. I think this would look really cool with like maybe a Mario mani or a zombie mani, but I think it also translates well to Valentine's and even the holidays. So lots of versatility there. You can absolutely build it up to full coverage, but similar to Feather of a Crow, I'm going to caution going in too heavy like what I did here. Looking back, I should have absolutely did thinner coats at 3 coats. Now at the full hand shot here, I did remember to use a glitter smoothing top coat, and I thought it made all the difference for what it looks like on the full hand shot. And next up is the cream of the quarter. This is olive for mustard and is described as an olive green toned mustard cream. So real talk, the other day I pureed up some peas for a baby because he's 6 months now, and this is exactly the color of the baby food. It's that perfect pea green in my opinion. There is a touch of a mustard undertone to it, but I think it's so subtle. I'm just going to say it's pea green in my opinion. I think 2 coats is beautiful opacity for this one. I always rave about Night Owl's creams. This one's no different. It's definitely a 1 coater if you have somewhat shorter nails and you go in a touch heavier. And on my full hand shot, there is no glossy top coat because I'm going to use it for nail art at the end of the video. But you can see just how it dries down perfect, plump, and glossy. And next up is the Anniversary Limited Edition. This is the 6th year LE, and this is Enchanting Night and is described as a burgundy with hollow dust and a subtle blue, violet to red multichrome that adds depth and richness instead of the usual in-your-face shifts. I do agree with that. This is so pretty. This is what I would consider a Selena purple, if you will. There's a polish that has been a lemming of mine for years that was a Selena purple, and I never got my hands on it, and this is probably the closest I'm going to get to it, just more of a linear holographic effect. I do agree that the multi-chrome pigment is so subtle on this one. At more extreme angles, you'll see a bit of a violet shift to it, but it does just add the depth, and overall, this is such a beautiful, cool-toned, flattering purple. Now to wrap up the video, I'm going to do a little bit of swirly nail art. This was another place that I failed at in this video. I also did Skin of a Gourd for the line art, and I did not hit record on my camera, but I really loved the results. So I'm just going to show you guys what I was doing with Enchanting Night over Olive for Mustard. I'm really digging this trend right now. If you go on Pinterest or Instagram, you're seeing this pattern all over the place. Everyone's doing this swirly look. Typically it's done with a nude base and some type of colorful swirl effect, but I wanted to use the polishes from this set, and I really loved how this came out. So you can see there, Enchanting Night. I can see this one also working as a stamping polish too. It's that pigmented and smooth and beautiful. And on the full hand shot here, I've topped off with a glossy top coat, and you can see just how nice these colors play together. And I'm loving how using Skin of a Gourd for line art is giving me that strong green shift. Now all of these are going to release September 24th at 6 p.m. MT time. I will link you guys below to Night Owl's shop in addition to the Facebook fan group. Remember, the Anniversary Limited Edition typically will be stocked for about a month. In this case, it will be stocked through November 13th, and then after that, all that's going to be available are just the remaining bottles from the previous stocking. So just throw that out there. I'll have all the information in the description below, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.